Hello, don't mind the background noises if there is any.
I'm Dave. This is Benjamin.
Anyway, I mainly want to talk about the story ideas for what Australia Troubles.
Okay, what's the story idea?
Well, it's not just their background. I think it's the main story. You know, the first adventure they go on together, which is basically to secure funding for their group. So they're off to China.
Why China?
Well, as when Mushu Target stated there can be.
There can be what?
I mean, he knows where some treasure is that will guarantee them some stuff.
Guarantee them some autonomy.
Yeah.
Which part of China? Because you said China is divided into four. In this future area, is divided into four
I haven't really thought about it that much.
sections.
You're thinking of Wind Dragon Dad. It's divided into various states, actually.
Yeah, but you said there were like four different ones.
That's the Wind Dragon you're thinking of.
No, it was for this one. You said they were divided into different states. Because they had rebellions and like that, and so now they have different states. You said.
Yeah, because they're part of America. In this world.
Oh, so they become part of the U.S.?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Go on.
I'm thinking like somewhere around on east south.
Okay.
Of part of China. Not that weird place people don't really go to. That used to be a big tourist attraction, but now I don't know. Maybe people interested. Oh no, this is something else.
Oh,
it's Great Wall still bringing in the good chicken tourists.
Yeah, it does, but in different parts. Because there's some parts where tourists don't go to.
Yeah.
Because it's just a long way outside of the cities. Because the Great Wall is so huge.
Yeah, and some people are planning to see some kind of monster roaming the woods.
Why?
He didn't mean a monster, some giant hideous creature. He mainly described it as some scary, looking guy with a lot of scars on his body. In the form of tally marks. Just roaming around brandishing two swords.
Interesting sounding character.
Words, and some people had to be hospitalized is because of a strange amount of poisonous stuff through the everything. Trees, air, gases, everything. Even the water was kind of poisonous.
Well, China does do a lot of polluting.
Yeah. Yeah, but this isn't like that bad of China. No. With pollution isn't that bad. Give it a couple decades, it'll just become unnatural. So it's kind of like the beaches. They used to be covered in junk. Then give it a couple decades, they became nice and sandy.
Okay. Interesting.
What? I watched the video.
No.
There used to be a bunch of metals and such on the side of the beach, and give it a couple decades, the water eventually we broke it down into.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The ocean is the greatest cleaner on the planet.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic. But still, China shouldn't have been doing that much polluting that they do. They're not very environmentally friendly.
Yeah, that's probably where those hippie trailers should probably go to clean up.
Most of the time, the hippie tree huggers are never involved with any kind of cleanup. Most of the people who get involved with cleanups of things are local people who actually care about the place. and who actually live there. That's if the government lets them.
Anyway, well, I'm thinking something like a province.
Mhm.
What kind of provinces are in China?
There's tons of different provinces.
So, what's
But I
the
don't know their
Qinghai
names.
province exactly?
I don't know. I don't know which province is where. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
Because those would become states, obviously, in the United States, and then since they're part of the United States, and then they'd be living
several
under,
countries are actually part of the U.S.
they'd be living under a much better governmental system.
Yeah,
Which we're very environmentally conscious here.
I feel a little too environmentally conscious in some ways.
In some ways, yes, because we have those hippies that are getting involved in making a noise, but they generally just make a mess and leave it wherever they go. It's disgusting.
So is that what Pan would have done? You know, the guy of the wild from Greek mythology.
Pan?
Yeah.
The Greek gods were very disgusting.
Yeah.
So they would have left a mess. They did leave messes everywhere they went.
But it wasn't just garbage, which is the
No.
problem.
Yeah. And they weren't so much into cleaning up their messes.
They just made other people do it for them.
No, they just killed people. They weren't friendly to people. It's quite a myth. They were only interested in their own stuff. They were quite selfish beings.
Mm-hmm.
And their examples were all of self-pleasure. You know, because that's all they wanted to do. And basically, if you made them unhappy or you weren't doing what made them happy, they'd kill you.
Seriously, how's the original Percy Jackson films not are popular? It actually caught the true spirit of Greek mythology.
No, it
The books.
didn't follow the book well enough is what the problem was, and they made everybody way older than they should have been.
To be fair, I don't think many people will really like the fact that Greek mythology is basically about sexual harassment and being okay.
Worse than sexual harassment. But we don't need to get into that.
Yeah, I was just talking about up an easy thing.
Yeah. But yeah, there's but the Percy Jackson movies.
Can we get back to what we were originally talking about, Watery Troubles?
Yes, I was going to say that. I was just going to comment that with the Percy Jackson movies, they just failed to follow the book well enough.
Yeah.
And that's why people were upset and didn't really want to see it. We'd rather them follow the book.
Yeah. Because the books were actually good.
Mm-hmm. And then Disney's made that series that I've not seen on Disney+.
Now let's plan to, Dad.
Yeah, I know. But anyway.
Grover's a hypocrite.
Oh, what?
A hypocrite, Dad.
Oh, well, that figures. Anyway, getting back to Wash Away Troubles.
Sad part is I prefer the Grover from the movie.
Yeah.
He was less of a coward.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go on about Wash Away Troubles.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of them are mainly in it because a lot of them are back in the action.
Mm-hmm. Should.
And Target did state, the guy who wants us, get it, it states he wants whatever we can send him, because they have teleportation technology.
Mm.
And anything we can't send him, then he wants us to carry back to him. That doesn't mean we have to take all of it to him. That means he's basically saying we can keep some of it for ourselves. Which is basically where they get it in special weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Things like a double blade spear.
Mm-hmm.
Here, a giant hammer.
Mm-hmm.
A golden sword.
Mm.
Or
Why a golden sword? Gold's really not a good metal for a sword.
Oh no, that's just the appearance. I think with the blade of Percy Jackson.
Okay. Go on.
And then there airs a special everything. A lot of it's worth quite a lot of money.
Okay.
And I can show you. You can put a lot of prices on it. About total of 5 to 7 digits in total for the prices.
Yeah, but it's only worth something if you want to sell it and somebody wants to buy it.
Yeah. Termination is the guy who wants to buy it. He's opening a special and new museum, and Target basically offered for his assistance in getting a lot of good
Artifacts.
Yeah. And it's not just artifacts out there. There's gold.
Right.
Gold and a lot of stuff that's worth quite the bunch.
Okay.
And a lot of old scripts and documents and some ancient literature and history.
Okay.
That'd be worth a fortune.
Sounds good.
And so that's mainly what they're going after.
Okay.
There's a lot of cool stuff up on it. And
Okay.
curious just who gets what kind of special weapon. If nobody gets something copy the weapon and such, that goes well with his power.
Right.
Whereas I'm thinking like the threat is of war or something.
Mm-hmm.
For Hammer here, I imagine he gets this double blade spear thing, because that'd be cool.
What do you mean by double bladed? There's a spear point on each end, or
Yeah,
what? Okay.
spear point on each end. And I also imagine you do the Darth Maul thing, but a little more effectively. Because it's not two swords.
Right.
Or it's...
Well, I don't know, because it could work very well for it to be able to split apart for him to use.
Yeah, he can do that.
And it has more usefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway.
Do you know the guy who played Darth Maul? His uncle was the guy who played as Luke's friend in the original Star Wars series.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. And he played in the prequel, the first prequel.
The Phantom Menace?
Yeah. He's the one who killed Qui-Gon Jinn.
Was that the black guy?
It was Liam Neeson. The black man that you're speaking of is oh crud. How did I not Samuel Jackson. Awesome actor.
Who was he playing as?
He was on the Jedi Council.
Yeah, he had a purple lightsaber.
And he was cool. Because it was Samuel Jackson. Any movie is cool if it has Samuel Jackson in it.
And isn't The Phantom Menace the worst film?
I don't know. I think all three of the prequels were awful. They just
Especially since it came after the original.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
it doesn't matter if it came after the original series because it's interesting to find out how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. So how Anakin Skywalker went from being Anakin Skywalker to becoming Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was an interesting way of doing it, but I don't think they did it well, is the problem. And then they made, what's her name? Amidala, the girl that he would marry, made her like 10 plus years older than him. So she was like 15 years older than him. So it was very odd them getting together and like that. And then Jedi aren't supposed to get married. So he broke a lot of rules to marry her. And then they had the twins.
Yeah, but he didn't know about them at first, remember?
No, he didn't know about them at first. But he learned about them. And he went after Luke.
Because he was the first one he learned of.
Yeah. And it was kind of the Sith way. You try to, even though you have a master or something, you eventually try to kill your master. You take his place. Darth wanted to kill the Emperor, and he wanted Luke to join him. And they could rule the galaxy together. So it was kind of interesting and weird, but the original movies were much better done with characterization and in building up the story than the first three movies. The first three movies really just, I don't know, they just didn't do that great with the story. And the last three movies that they made, which are supposed to be after, and it's supposed to be them building the Republic back up, really didn't do that. It really just had Han Solo and Leia's son being this evil bad guy who'd become a Sith because of influence from the dead Emperor. Which is like, what? I mean, it just became so ridiculous. It was like, no.
I think it's just off topic.
Yeah, but it just was really not as appealing as the first three movies, which were the middle three movies, which is what made everything kind of weird. I think they could have done a better job with the second three movies that were the prequels. I think they should have done a better job. But they didn't. I mean, the Phantom Menace, the worst part of it, in my opinion, was the races that they had, where Anakin's doing this race to try to get his freedom and all that. And it was such a long race and everything, and it was just just so weird and out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just one of those things. I think they did great with the Han Solo movie. It did really good. I liked it.
I actually watched it.
Yeah, I liked it. The movie that they did about getting the design for the Death Star
Death
out.
Star.
Yeah, that movie was fantastic. You really felt everything that happened in that movie.
We forget The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens is one of the three that came after.
Yeah,
And
that had an even bigger Death Star.
yeah, and I'm sorry, it just didn't have the same feeling for me. It just didn't seem to follow stuff right, in my opinion. You know, I just didn't like how it went. I don't think they really did as good a job with it. I mean, it was good. It had lots of good special effects and like that. And even The Mandalorian, even though I liked The Mandalorian the first 2 seasons of it, because that's all I got to watch, that was really good. I really liked The Mandalorian.
Yeah, The Mandalorian's
But-
a timeline.
The story of basically passing the baby Yoda-like thing, you know, with those Jedi not wanting to train him. You know, the first Jedi they found didn't want to take responsibility for him and train him. And so they ended up bringing a CGI Luke Skywalker in to take the baby Yoda thing.
I
I
thought
forgot
they
what they
grabbed-
called him. What they
Have to look alike. Or they just use intent to make
No, they used a person, and all they did was have him wear a green mask, and then CGI'd in a young Luke Skywalker's face. So it was interesting, but it was kind of like, are you serious? You know? And why aren't the Jedi building back up? Because that didn't make any sense, because that was Luke's responsibility, was to rebuild the Jedi Council and everything else, so they could be organized again and keep peace throughout the galaxy again, like they've done before.
I'm not sure if Disney's really was planning to hold up the integrity of the Star Wars franchise.
Well, they didn't, and they're making all kinds of movies that are spin-offs from it, you know. And I think the spin-off ones have been better than the ones that are supposed to be for the actual series. Except for the last one where they had Leia in it. And
Okay,
Those
Grant,
guys-
but you can't talk about Watch Patrol's arsenals and such. You know, the weapons they brought.
well, can we do that another time, because I've got to go water the garden and such.
Well, that's at least talk about Target's arsenal.
Okay.
He carries 500 Magnum revolvers.
What do you mean 500 Magnum?
He has 2 of them on, like, you know, the men.
What is a
Glass thing.
500 Magnum?
It's a big revolver.
I've never heard of a 500 Magnum.
It's still new, Dad. You just need to look it up.
I'm going to have to before we carry on with this, because this does not make good sense to me. Who's the manufacturer?
I don't know. Ultra Red 500 Magnum. They're Ultra's revolvers. There you go.
Smith & Wesson. It's a big, long revolver. 500 caliber. It only can hold 5 rounds. Oh, that's a big weapon.
Yeah, and it's a one-handed gun.
Yeah, I see that. But that is a huge weapon. Why does he carry 2?
Simple. Boom. Boom. Oh, there. powerful guns. They're meant for breaking down armor.
Oh, so it's an armor-piercing round.
Some of the other guns he has, as there are only two others, it's basically two double barrel pistols.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and then there's swords. He would contain two cane swords. One he often carries outside, and the other he hides in his robe.
Why does he carry cane swords?
Well, I
Got
just
two
thought
500 Magnum.
he's still blind, Dad.
Target is blind?
Yeah,
Then how does he know where to shoot?
that cane. It's magic.
And it's not magic. It's the ability to listen and hear where somebody's from.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I just thought the whole after the whole cane shooting people and he was blind.
Yeah, that was pure luck. You can't. No one could actually do that.
Keep in mind, he contains his enhanced reflexes, so it's obvious he would use some senses.
Well,
so he would obviously know where to fire. Dad, that's mine.
I know. I just need a sip.
Right.
We're not fighting.
Anyway, the two cane swords would be. There's the black one
Oh my
called
goodness, it
Yang,
tastes so good.
and
Mhm.
Dad don't drink all of that.
Mhm.
Then there's a white one. He hides it in.
So he has yin and yang.
Yeah.
Are the two swords.
Yin is the white one.
Why are they cane swords? Why aren't they just regular, like, Dao or,
They are technically Dao blades.
then they wouldn't even fit inside of a cane.
Oh no, that's the design of the cane. And you know, because he's done the
Yeah,
stuff.
but that seems like
I
it'd be
don't allow
really
them.
bulky.
That's the main course of my vision. I just thought it'd be cool.
Stop fighting.
We're not fighting. I'm just asking questions. We're trying to go over these weapons. Why are you Budinsky?
Charles, stop whispering.
I have no idea who you are.
Charles.
How dare you walk into our house without being recognized? Sorry for the interruption. So anyway,
Subscribe to Dark
There are some backup
Shogun Dragon.
good weapons, and the swords are mainly just for close range combat mainly.
right, I understand that.
Like his next two would be he like Wolverine's claws. You know, they fold them back here and pop out. They're not in his arm or anything.
Oh, they're just something that folds back.
Yeah, they're on.
And
Yeah,
they
there's
come
some things he wears on his arms.
Okay.
He also wears tactical gear under a specially designed robe he wears.
It sounds like the character Armor from one of the offshoot Marvel comic franchises. Armor had a suit of armor that every last bit of it he could pretty much pull off and would be different weapons. You should look him up. It was pretty cool. It was very amazing.
That is nothing like this.
It sounds like it. I mean, because I think that would be a better way to go is to make it to
Target.
where
This thing isn't it's armor, but it's extremely heavy, which is why he wears it. Because it helps him, keep his workouts and training up. It's the spec.
you wouldn't do that because
He's superhuman, remember?
it doesn't matter. It's something that's weighing you down too much. It's weighing you down too much. It's
He
causing
can move just
bulk.
fine in it.
But you're not going to wear that all the time. You will wear it when you go into combat. It's like ancient knights. They didn't wear their armor all the time.
It's not
They
exactly
only
armor.
put it on
It's
when they were
weighted
getting ready
thing
to
he
go into
wears.
combat.
Is to keep his workouts up, training.
You wouldn't do that. Just a person wouldn't do that.
It also has a symbol on it. It's a red circle with a red dot in it. Target, because that's what he's calling himself.
hmm Which is fine. I mean, I can see the symbol. And also the symbol is something that people would aim at. So you put your Kevlar under
Yeah, he
there.
wears his there's a specially designed tactical gear, which includes a Kevlar shirt.
Yeah, so you'd wear that under your stuff with the
Yeah.
bullseye on it because then they're going to shoot
The
where
bullseye
armor
thing-
is.
It's mostly something I want him to wear temporarily, at least until. Oh,
That's where Batman puts the Kevlar in his suit.
yeah, at least until he'll calculate. It figures out he's going to make a new suit for him.
Yeah. Okay. So just parts of his weaponry are housed inside of this,
Yeah, under it.
under it. Okay.
Your thoughts?
Kind of like Batman in some ways because Batman hides his gadgets all over his uniform.
Yeah.
So, okay. Sounds cool.